How's it going, everyone? We have a brand new PlayStation Store sale to go over, a pretty big one, and we have a notable deal of the week. I'll start off with the deal of the week. The PlayStation Store sale, I will filter via full game bundles and premium editions. Let me just do that real quick, and you've got 2,400 deals as a part of that. Deal of the week! One of the most iconic video games of all time, one of the greatest video games of all time. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Complete Edition is 75% off, $12.49 for The Witcher 3, and you might be wondering, you're probably not wondering why this is the deal of the week, but look at the date. It is May 14th, 2025. When did Witcher 3 Wild Hunt come out? May 18th of 2015. Yes, you guys, this week will mark the 10-year anniversary since the release of The Witcher 3. I don't know about you guys, but when I realized that factoid that Witcher 3 came out 10 years ago, it took me back a little bit. I'm like, oh my god, 10 years have passed since Witcher 3 has dropped, because I still vividly remember booting it up on my PC, that menu music running, and just sitting on the menu for a while. Really, what I was doing was tinkering around the settings on PC, but nonetheless, the menu music was great, and yeah, it's just insane how the time just goes by so fast, and Witcher 3 still holds up, man. 10 years later, still one of the greatest video games of all time, and I mean, visuals haven't accelerated that much over the course of the last decade, I feel, but Witcher 3 is still one of the best looking games you can come across, and now, with it getting upgraded on PlayStation 5, it looks phenomenal. Looks absolutely phenomenal, plays great as well. Definitely a worthwhile pickup. If you're one of the few people that watch this channel and have yet to play Witcher 3, I implore you, at this price point with the DLC, it is a fantastic pickup. And again, one of my favorite games of all time, one of the greatest video games of all time, and the DLC is really good. And I know some people weren't crazy about the combat. I really liked the combat as well. I thought the combat had a lot of depth to it. So yeah, $12.49 on that, obviously. Gotta give that a shout, a phenomenal deal there, and yeah, this week is 10 years since the release of Witcher 3, which, again, I just think is absolutely insane. But yeah, there you go with that. Alright, moving on from that, PlayStation Indie sale is running right now. A lot of games that I am not too familiar with, but we'll go over it, we'll highlight some of these deals, and yeah, like I said, 2,477 deals listed. Autopsy Simulator, I'm gonna be real, I didn't even know this was a game. Let's read the description of Autopsy Simulator, as it's 20% off for $19.99. You play a middle-aged pathologist whose life has taken a turn for the worse after career downfall and the loss of your beloved wife. You live each day shattered and exhausted. One day during a routine post-mortem, you find a relic of your past hidden inside a body. Now it feels like something just won't let go. That just dropped last month. Okay, was not familiar with Autopsy Simulator dropping. Actually came from Team 17, but yeah, $19.99 on that. Sniper Elite Resistance Deluxe Edition is 20% off for $72. Yeah, I don't think anybody's picking that up. Dead Side, 20% off for $19.99. Forever Skies Deluxe Edition, 20% off for $31.99. The Walking Dead The Telltale Definitive Series, 75% off for $12.49. Have seen this deal quite a few times at this point, but if you have yet to check out Walking Dead, would highly recommend you to do so. While I do say that Walking Dead peaked with Season 1, Season 2 was really good, and the subsequent seasons were all good. It's just Season 1 set such a high bar, and I feel like you don't hit quite that level throughout the course of the subsequent seasons. But it's still a great game, and a game that I strongly, strongly recommend everybody to play, and the whole franchise I recommend everybody to play. And you got 400 Days, the Michonne miniseries, a lot of good stuff there. For sure. Outlast is $4.99, great horror game, but I feel like we've seen that a little bit cheaper. For the King franchise bundle, $21 on that. For the King 2 is $18.74. Moving out to 60% off for $11.99. Hello Neighbor, $7.49 on that. Scroll with a Gun, $12.99. Outlast Trial, 60% off for $15.99 as well. Blasphemous 2 is 50% off for $14.99, which is a pretty decent deal. Arcane Age, 30% off for $28. Goat Sim is $3. Enter the Gungeon for $3.74, always a good time there. Enotria, The Last Song Standard Edition, that's still holding up in price, 35% off for $25.99. Kong Survivor Instinct, baby, that is $19.99. That is a game that came out, I want to say, somewhat recently. Yeah, October of last year, 2.5D action title. So yeah, that's $19.99. Cooking Sim is $13.99. Spiritfarer Farewell Edition, $4.49. I know that game is beloved, so Yeah, $4.49 on that. Signalist, awesome game. $13.99 on that is great. Definitely check that out. And that's been holding up in price. That came out back in, I want to say 2023 or maybe even 2022. Let me actually pull that up. 2022, October of 22. So it's been out for a long, long time at this stage of the game. But yeah, very much worth it even at that price point. Jump King, $3.89. Chernobyl Escape from Pripyat is $10.49. Super Meat Boy, $7.49 on that. Save an additional 25% though if you are a Plus subscriber, which takes it down to $3.74. I wouldn't pay $7.49 for Super Meat Boy, but $3.74, I think that's a decent pickup, but yeah, $7.49 is too much. Slender the Arrival, $8.99 on that. The Plucky Squire, 30% off for $21. Wizard of Legend is $4.79. The Witness, 66% off for $13.59. You'll save 4% if you're a Plus subscriber, so there you go with that. Until Then, 40% off for $11.99. That game is fantastic, and it's super underrated, but there's some great writing in that game. The story's awesome, and you're going into that game for the exploration of the various themes and whatnot, but pretty emotional game as well. So if you're into that, $11.99 for that. Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn. I know people hated this game and everything surrounding it, but $9.99 on this. Yeah, Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn did not do all too hot, so it is what it is, you know. Thought it was okay. I actually played some of it. I thought it was okay. I didn't even think it was that terrible, but you know, there's a lot of competition in this area as well, so, you know, not good enough, but $9.99 for that. Bright Memory Infinite, 30% off for $13.99. Duck Game, $7.79. Walkabout Mini Golf, $18.74. Jurassic World Evolution 2, $14.99. Hell Let Loose Ultimate Edition, $34.99. Lethal League Blaze is $9.99. Walking Dead, the final season. The first season is $4.49. Final season is $4.99. Obviously, if you don't have any of it, you want to go the route of picking up the Telltale Definitive Series for $12.49. Nickelodeon Kart Racers, $4.49 on that. We Were Here Together, $4.93 if you want some co-op titles. The We Were Here games are pretty good. Speaking of co-op, Degrees of Separation for $1.99. That's a really good deal. I think that game has some really cool gameplay design. You can play it solo, but very much designed to be played cooperatively, and I think you'll enjoy the game if you do play co-op. You can enjoy the game solo as well, but yeah, $1.99 on that is really good, and I thought the presentation in that game was great as well. Fabledom, $14.99. Melatonin, $10.49. That game is pretty slick in terms of presentation. I like that game from an aesthetic standpoint. Fate Reawakened, $19.99. Just Die Already, $2.99. Paint the Town Red, $11.99. Abzu, $6.99. If you want a relaxing game, Abzu's a damn good one. Turok 2 Seeds of Evil. What else we got? Redacted, which is like, I believe, like the Callisto Protocol title. $17.49 on that. Yeah, it takes place in Black Iron Prison, so it's like, you know, connected to Callisto Protocol. Railroads Online, $29.99. Prison Simulator, $7.99. A Short Hike is $4.79. Walking Dead Onslaught, $4.49 on that. Batman Telltale Shadows Edition is $11.99. Kind of expensive, wish that was a little bit cheaper, but I thought Batman Telltale was all okay. Not at the level of a lot of the other you know, Telltale games, but still pretty decent. Dungeons of Hinterberg, $15.40 on that, 33% off. That just came out on PlayStation. Really well-received game, was available on Xbox Game Pass right out the gate, but that game has an awesome visual style. Pretty cool gameplay as well. I didn't play too much of it, but you know, definitely have that one on your radar. That's one of those games that I think will surprise a lot of people. A lot of people don't even know it exists, but nonetheless, Succubus, $9.99, Spelunky, $2.99, obviously a great deal there. Graveyard Keeper, $4.99, Oddworld Stranger's Wrath HD, $7.99 on that. Another deal that I want to recommend, but would like to see it a little bit cheaper, like maybe at the $3.99 range would be ideal. Momodora, Moonlit Farewell, 20% off only, but well-received game there. An additional 10% off if you're a Plus subscriber as well. Bomber Crew, $2.39 on that. The deluxe edition is $7.49, but $2.39 for the base game seems pretty good. Awaken Astral Blade, $18.74. That's a relatively recent release, I want to say. Let me pull up the date on that as well. Yeah, it came out October of last year, so fairly recent, but $18.74 on that. Gorn, $9.99. Super Meat Boy Forever, $9.99. That game wasn't received all too well, but you know, it is on sale. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Rita's Rewind, $24.49. Deadlink, $17.49. Cobra Kai, The Karate Kid Saga continues, $7.99. Creed, Rise to Glory is $15.99. What else? We got Father's Day Journey, 59 cents on this. Save an additional 30% if you're a Plus subscriber. That would take it down to like 29 cents. Okay, that is super cheap. A delightful puzzle game to celebrate the enchanting atmosphere of Father's Day. That came out in May of last year. I'll actually check that out. I think for 29 cents. Oh, I want to check out some of these super cheap games and, you know, circle back and tell you guys about them. But, nevertheless, there you go. Now, Barn Finders, 45% off for $11. Builder Simulator, $14.99. Dead Cells Medley of Pain bundle. Save an additional 10% if you're a Plus subscriber, which would take this down to $19.99, which might actually be a historic low for it if you have a Plus subscription. I mean, Dead Cells is awesome. It is the action roguelike that I always go to bat for, and I mean, it doesn't need me to go to bat for it. It's a phenomenal game, well known, and a lot of great DLC content as well. Definitely a worthwhile pickup there. Check that out for sure. It's Dead Cells. It's awesome. Fez, 33% off if you're a Plus subscriber. An additional 33% off. If you're a Plus subscriber, that's a good pickup. $8.70 is a little bit too much, but yeah, great game. Cat Quest 2, $4.49, great game if you want something more casual and easy to get into. Trek to Yomi, $4.99. I like Trek to Yomi. It's just a super short game, so $19.99 is a little bit too much, but at this price point, I think that's a pretty good pickup. Would give that a shot. Brotato is $3.49. That's a good deal, really well received. And I mean, it's not an immense discount, but it's already a $4.99 game, so pretty good all things considered. Citadel Forged with Fire is $7.49. Guacamelee 2, $4.99 on that is great. Loved Guacamelee. A Shadow Warrior 3 Definitive Edition, $9.99, so good to see that continue to get cheaper, but Shadow Warrior 3 is generally considered the weakest of the three games. Miasma Chronicles, $17.49, a game that I go to bat for all the time. I think it's a pretty good tactics game, but $17.49 is way too much, and that game came out like 2 years ago. It should be like, you know, at the $9.99 range by now. Hotline Miami for $1.99 is great. Night in the Woods, $9.99 on that. Shield Wall, $12.59. So a lot of lower key deals. Hotline Miami 2 is also on sale. That's always a good time. Vanishing of Ethan Carter for $3.99. Death's Door for $4.99. But I'm going to wrap up this video here. Again, a lot of lower key games. It's an indie sale. It's what you expect. But Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is the deal of the week. 10-year anniversary of that on May 18th. That'll do it for me. All of your thoughts down below. Sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.